Nobody thought that this was possible. Everybody thought that, well, it's too early for independence. It will disintegrate into 800 different pieces. This country was condemned even before it was born. But we've defied all the critics, and Papua New Guinea is not a failed state. We still have a robust parliamentary democracy, and we should be very proud of that.
I've always believed, and I believe in this principle, that the sooner the people of this country are responsible for their own affairs, the better it is for them.
There was only one figure that would lead the country. That was Michael Somare. He was the leader of Pangu Party. For the first time I saw him was on ABC television.
And I think we as the leaders of this country should take some initiative. We should lead, and we should lead our people.
There are three things that stuck out for me. One was his self-confidence. Two, the clarity of his message. It's time to cut the apron string and Papua New Guinea to pursue its own destiny. And that's a fascinating man. Little did I know that I would join him as a member of his staff with Arabi Namaliu and Meg Taylor. But there were 4 Papuan people in Pangu Party. For them, Mari Kiki in particular was very clear. We want the best man for the job. And the best man was Michael Somare. They didn't see him as a civic. They didn't see him as a New Guinean. They saw him as the right man. One, because he had the fighting qualities that was required, young, energetic, charismatic. And secondly, Michael Somare's character, he had a very big heart. So he could build bridges across the region, and that's what he did. He was the leader of Pangu Party, but that was not enough. He would command the numbers to form the coalition government. At that particular time, 2 important events, political headwinds, confronted Michael Somare. The rise of Papua Pisana. Were not for unity. They want a separate Papua. The Highlands, you had United Party. They were anti-independence, supported by the planters and, of course, the colonial government.
While some people are singing about national unity, others have the job of creating it. It's under this symbol that they're working to make it come true. For the past year, the government has been formed by the National Coalition, led by the Chief Minister Michael Somare. The leader of the United Party opposition is Matthias Tolleman.
The fascinating thing about why didn't the radicals at that particular time, like John Caputin, Oscar Tamor, the Matangan Association, the Highlands Liberation Front, Kapsawali movement and Trobin, why didn't they break away? But because Somare saw them as part of the decolonization process, they were natural forces. They were not anti-Pangu Party. They were making the same, they were after the same objective. The Papuans came on board, Highlands came on board. The last man to come on board was Julius Chen in PPP. And when they came in, they formed the first national coalition government. Yes. And we owe to those foundation fathers where we are today.
When we gained independence, what did that feel like for you?
I was with the grassroots with Tony Butes. Tony Butes was one of the fathers of the Pangu Party. I can remember even today Tony turning around to me when the flag was going down, said, Moi, time for me to go. And off he left the country and went to China. But Tony came back, 10 years ago, and we reminisced about the famous handshake that we had. Time for white men to go, and he had to go.
I should be able to take back many happy memories of a fascinating visit.
Very proud of the leaders of the particular time. Very proud of the groundswell of support from Papua New Guineans, even though they didn't know much about self-government and independence. Nevertheless, they had their faith in the leadership. And I was so happy that the country achieved its objective of being independent. That's when the real hard work starts, was after independence. Yeah. The second thing was obviously the homegrown constitution. And that you got to thank John Momus, John Caputin, Bernard Narakobi, who supported in writing the homegrown constitution, which made particular reference for the diverse nature of the country. You got to have a decentralized form of government. Yeah. The basis of our country is in the village, and they are the fabric. And then you put all the villages together, then Papua New Guinea emerges there. Without the village, there is no Papua New Guinea. One thing we need to appreciate, 97% of the land still belongs to the Kashmir landowners, not the state. And it's the people who own the land, And they could not preserve that land without all these rituals and practice they have. But since urban migration, that practice in some areas is dying down.
What was your hope and belief for the future of PNG in 1975, and has that been achieved?
Way beyond that, It's not just 50 years. We are celebrating the fact that you have Papua New Guineans whose forefathers probably did not read or write. They are now flying airplanes in Dubai. And we have PhD holders, again, whose forefathers were illiterate. That we're celebrating their achievement, their contribution to humanity. We should be very proud of what our kingsmen have achieved throughout the world.
If the Grand Chief was here now, what would he say to the people of Papua New Guinea about celebrating 50 years?
The job is not done yet, it's only half done. He brought us to independence, but he wanted Papua New Guinea to be economically independent.
What are your thoughts on what you would like to see for the future of our people, Papua New Guinea?
There are things throughout Papua New Guinea that needs to be addressed. Despite our vast resources, there are social economic indicators in many parts of Papua New Guinea are pointed in the wrong way. For us, we're going to go back to the basics. Education, health are the two things that we cannot live without. Nobody thought that this was possible. Everybody thought that, it's too early for independence. It will disintegrate into 800 different pieces. This country was condemned even before it was born. But we've defied all the critics, and Papua New Guinea is not a failed state. We still have a robust parliamentary democracy, and we should be very proud of that.